So we know that the MULN squeeze is on. We know that every time the market goes crazy, it's always because there's one super undervalued stock, and the only way for them to get this stock to its true potential while being able to control it still is to let it go up, and let it go up as much as retail demands it to go up. So they're going to try to create a lot of things to make people focused on things outside of the stock market. They're going to try to create a lot of things to make people focused on stocks outside of MULN. And yeah, like we know that the impeachment of Joe Biden is just a distraction because the stock market's about to get off the hook. And so they want to be talking about everything other than the stock market when it's running. And yeah. It's looking pretty hot today. It could get better. We want to see 100% gains in a day. We want to break $1 today. We really do. If I got any chance of fucking getting paid in my options, we gotta start running. Definitely looking like we're going to crush yesterday's volume. No reason today can't be the squeeze. I mean, we can argue as long as we go green, 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 green for the next 10 days, like squeeze started yesterday. If yesterday was the first of many green days to come until we're way up, then you can argue that the squeeze started yesterday. But if we go back red and we got to fight this rest of the week and then we squeeze tomorrow, then or next week, then obviously that wouldn't be the case. But we do feel like the squeeze is on. Tommy's been converting lawnmowers and cars and bicycles to lithium electric propulsion for over 15 years. Let's fucking go. There ain't no doubt that what we got to offer in the electric car world is actually extremely competitive. And that the only reason they're making the fight against oil is so that you'll hate electric cars. So that when the electric cars take over the market, you didn't get paid in it. That is the main objective behind climate change, is to make you love oil so much that you hate electric cars. Oh, I got the hiccups. Did you guys hear that on the border of Nevada, Idaho, or Utah, and maybe maybe Oregon or something, they found a lithium mine, supposedly. They just discovered it, and supposedly got so many resources that it's enough that we don't need to go to China or Taiwan or anywhere else to fucking start building our own shit for electricity or computer chips or whatever. Guaranteed they known about that for 100 years. They're just telling us about it now because they know that the real race for technology and countries building their own stuff is all about to come true. It's no longer going to be importing everything from China, because 2 years from now, all the things that are being built and produced to make it to where we're dependent, we're self-dependent. We don't need China. China right now got things that we can't get in America that are higher quality, and it's just because we like to pay them to fucking do it for us, because it's cheaper to pay for slave labor. Well, that shit's going out the window. Don't count on that to last forever. Sounds like a pretty sick bicycle. Sounds like I could have used that to get to and from work. Where was my bicycle back in the day when I needed it? Yeah, I mean, electric cars are clean. Just the whole fact that, like, the fastest car in the world is electric because there's a delay between the combustion of the gas versus the transition for electric power. Like, that shit just is already super easy to understand and super basic, but like super powerful. It just shows you that there's potential. There's potential that the gas can't reach. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm just over here, like, honestly, like, the only thing I'm really praying about right now is that it all happens before Friday. Just because I got 1,000 options expiring on Friday, and there is no rolling them over or any bullshit like that, so I got really big hopes for this week, but it does seem that it's not guaranteed for this week. Like, it could happen this week, but it also seems like we could go through another 3 days of bullshit. So my fingers are extra crossed. I'm just praying, living on a prayer, hoping for the best. See what happens. Squeeze now, motherfucker. The only reason we haven't squoze already is because you guys are all a bunch of bitches. Haven't bought enough and haven't called enough. That's all this takes. Enough phone calls of enough people just willing to believe a little bit. Plenty of people with a lot of money out there willing to throw 10% at something if it looks like the real deal. Well, if you haven't been watching MULN, MULN is the real deal. We had them once a year ago and they fucked us. But everything they ever did in the last year to fuck us over and over again, like between the lawsuit and between the tools that they used, whether it was reverse splits or voting for dilution, all these tools they had, they're out the window. They gone. Um, yeah, somebody hit us up this morning talking about David Mitchery getting the 3% of shares. 3% of all outstanding shares is going to get awarded to him for meeting some type of metric. I'm fucking good with that. As long as David's the one getting shares, it does not bother me in the slightest bit. But also, he brought up the idea that this is really good news because we haven't got an update on the share count since August 14th. And if he gets, let's just say he gets 30 million shares, then we know, well, it wouldn't be 30 million, it'd be 3 million shares. So if he got 3 million shares, then we know that the outstanding shares is 300 million. And so that would tell us that we've gone from 184 million to 300 million in the last 30 days. And I expect to see something like that. So the fact that he already got announced that he's awarded these shares, like there should be an SEC filing coming out saying how many shares he got. And that should tell us how many shares we've bought in the last 30 days or so. So that's exciting. Like, it's just so hard to be a Tesla fan, especially if you're an old Tesla fan, because all your cars that you own in the past don't get the same battery distance that the new cars are getting. So that automatically cuts into its resale value. Then when Elon Musk goes and slashes the prices of his cars by $20,000 per car, that just murders the resale value of every previous Tesla owner. And then when the new competition comes out and they show that their truck is better, looks nicer, drives nicer, gets more mileage, pulls better, has more storage, all those good things. Well, that makes Bollinger just dominate Cybertruck. And then when the other like the MULN 5RSs, the other retail cars start coming out, and they're more affordable than the Teslas, but also have further mileage capabilities and better charging capabilities and all these different things. Like, it is scary, 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 spooky to be invested in Tesla right now. Like, unless they pull a fucking rabbit out their hat with the biggest government contract for full self-driving on all electric vehicles moving forward in the next 5 years, like, unless they get something like that, I am worried about Tesla. Tesla may not survive what's about to come. Again, the reason why the article went out yesterday of Russia being the insiders on MULN Technologies and Russia using MULN to attack the United States stock market is because they knew that today Joe Biden was getting announced for impeachment, and they're blaming it all on Hunter and all these things. But the reason the Republicans are forced to pull this card is because plenty of Republicans, just like Democrats, just like big nose people, are going to be very, very angry seeing MULN go to the fucking moon and seeing poor people get rich. And so everybody's going to be attacking everybody. Everyone's going to be pointing fingers. Everyone's going to be trying to draw every connection they can to MULN just being the people fed up with the establishment. And they're all acting like they're going to change and all this bullshit. And it don't matter none. Like, we're going to be here. We're going to have our own voice. And we're going to shut them the fuck up once we get our platform. Somebody message when MULN's above 60 cents. Are we above 60 cents yet? Man, I really hope we don't gotta wait another day for 100% gains. We ain't got no time to wait. Every fucking option needs to be in the money by tomorrow. That means $5 minimum by tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm gonna be very grumpy this next 3 days. So 95% of my videos weren't monetized as of yesterday, but last night I went and monetized basically everything, and everything it would allow me to at least. And then, yeah, I'm gonna start monetizing this shit, and I expect that I'm gonna end up with 1 million people at least, if not 100 million people, going through at least a couple hundred of my videos each. So if I don't make my money by Friday, I'm mulling. Maybe I'll get all my money from viewers on YouTube. We're bouncing up and down from 50 cent. I mean, this was a pretty strong open. I don't know that we've had an open this strong in quite some time. Followed by yesterday, where we opened pretty strong as well, but then we started to lose it. But then at the end, we started gaining it, and then today we just start going back up, like looking like we might not be going red again, people, until we're all the way up. I just pray it's not 50 cents, 60 cents, 80 cents, $1, and then explosion. Because if all that happens, that means it's after Friday. Like, we just need explosion time. Are they really going to allow them to cheat it and cheat me? Come on, David. Time to call your big boy friends and make them fucking go to these cheaters and fucking step on their throats for me for a second. Just pull their finger off the button for 1 second. Let's go find a real value before we let them start playing their games again. I am currently banned indefinitely from X, but I imagine, like many people have been, Kanye was, lots of people were, and so I imagine that, I don't know, maybe when Alex Jones gets back, I'll get back. Like, I don't know how it's going to go down, but I'm not going to worry about X or anything else until after the MULN squeeze. But if I got to go sue Elon Musk, I will. Ain't nobody made more freaking hypocritical comments of supposedly supporting free speech and then going behind the scenes to try to manipulate and censor speech. Like, this dude's wildin'. This dude's wildin'. Fucking Elon. Tommy's birthday's Friday. My birthday's September 23rd, which is like, I think it's on a Saturday coming up. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. The fall is here, people. The fall is actually starts on my birthday. Every year it supposedly starts on the 22nd or the 23rd. Which, if you know, is a big date anyways, and it's a perfect date for the fall. Except for my options. Something told me when I bought the options I should buy a week before my birthday, not on my birthday though, so I don't know what that was about. We're about to find out. Yeah, depending on the horoscope you look at, some things say I'm a Virgo and some things say I'm a Libra. But most of them say I'm a Libra. But definitely a cusp baby. Like, it feels like we're waiting on nothing. I can't, like, outside of a fucking buyback SEC filing, outstanding shares SEC filing, Fortune 500 announcement. Like, but I mean, the British Airways is just as good as the Fortune 500 announcement. Like, we probably got that one and 3 other companies that are fucking ready to be announced. And it's like, what are we waiting for? We already nailed them to the fucking wall with the lawsuit. We're already dominating them in the fucking appeal process for the fucking compliance. Like, what the fuck are we waiting for, David? So as MULN starts squeezing, I'm obviously going to be watching the stock price action, and I'm going to be using it to determine what I think the market's going to do versus what I think MULN's going to do. And sometimes I might be playing puts on MULN with my calls. I might be playing calls or puts on the S&P 500. And I might be playing puts on AMC or Tesla, depending on which stocks run with us. Like, I'm going to be looking for the stock that's probably going to dip the most after it runs with us. And I might be playing puts there. Lots of different trading strategies I'm going to be looking at. Most of my concentration in monies will be MULN all the time, no matter what. Just because that will be the easiest stock price to read, because it's the only one that's not just pure manipulation. It will be the one that has to go up in order to get retail to sell. And so based on how they let it up, you can kind of determine when you think they might be trying to convince you to sell. And so because I know that MULN will be easiest to read, I will be focused on MULN. But like this Ricardo Martinez dude need to ask better questions. Like, the dude just, when you come in here and all you say is when is squeeze, like, it just makes me want to ban you and never fucking talk to you again, because it makes me think you're a fucking pussy ass bitch. So learn how to fucking talk in my chat or just get the fuck out of here. But outside of that, yes, so there's all those different strategies that I'm looking at. One of them is after the market crashes a little bit, when MULN's squeezing, there should be a period where, like, the market opens up a certain amount of green in the first hour of every trading day, and it loses all of that growth every single trading day. If that pattern holds up, it might hold up for 10 to 20 days. And if that holds up for 10 to 20 days, well, that's a lot of fucking money. So hopefully the goal would be that there's some easy trading strategies that I can scope out here that I'm just going to take a small amount of money with, turn into a very large amount of money, and then just bring it all back to MULN at the end. But outside of that, ultimately, if MULN just does really good, let's just say $100 a share, and then trades sideways for 3 months, well, within the first 2 months, I will have started trading the daily algo that I've created on the SPX that would allow someone to make at least probably 5% a day every day, no matter what. And it looks something like I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys just because I don't care about it. But if you wanted to, if you were even a semi-good programmer, like, you don't even got to worry about the options part. The options part's great, but the futures hedging part is just so profitable and so secure and so easy. It's really all you need. So you're going to want to find a company that has a very good automated system. I know TradeStation is one of them. And you're going to want to invest at least, it's got to be at least 30,000. Like, the account minimum's got to be 25,000, I believe, but you got to be willing to lose $1,000 before you start making money. And then, so you want to start with like about 30,000, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to set up this little algo that reads the market open, whatever it opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, and you're looking for it to cross the first whole dollar, and whatever the first whole dollar is, you're going to set that as a number. And then as soon as it crosses, and you're going to be waiting for, let's just say, I mean, depending on how high the at the money 1 day to expire option or 0 day to expire market open calls and puts are valued at. So like if the SPX is at 4,000, you go look at a $4,000 call to buy and a $4,000 put to buy. And depending on what the average price is between those two prices, depends on how much you really want to shoot for in profit. But a good rule of thumb is to shoot for whatever the number is. So if, like, you can buy a call for $20 and you can sell a put or buy a put for $20, and then you just want to look for a $20 profit. And so what you're going to say is, if it crosses $4,000 at the market open, that's the first whole dollar that it crossed. And then at $4,000 at $3 or at $3,997, you're going to want to buy a future in that direction or the other direction. Now you can buy a future that every 25-cent move in the SPX it makes $5, or you can do $15 or $10 or $25. And so if we just assume the $25 one, you'd want to buy at least 4 of them. And then what you're going to do is, you know that you're looking for a $20 growth in one direction or the other, $20 movement in the SPX. And so if you've already done $3 movement one way to trigger your order to start betting it's going to keep going that way, then you're looking for 17 more dollars. And if you got 4 contracts, then we can just assume $16 would be a good rule of thumb. And so that what you do is every $4 you go in the money, you would take a profit. So if it goes from the 3, let's just say 4,003 to 4,007, I would have sold one of my 4 contracts for $100 profit. And then if it comes back to the 4,003, because I've already made a profit on that one, I would now buy that one. And then I'd have a $1 stop loss on all 4 contracts. And basically anytime it comes down, I'm willing to take that stop loss. Anytime it breaks that number, I'm willing to take the profit or get back into position. And then by the time it runs all the way the $16 one direction or the other, I'm going to end up cashing all 4 contracts out for a total of probably $1,000 to $2,000. And the idea is that if you just reset that where you cash out your final contract as the new break-even price, and now you're trying to bet up or down again, like you just follow that same pattern from the new price, and you're eventually, like every day, you're going to make a lot of fucking money. But yeah, we'll talk more about that later. Like right now we're just counting on MULN to fucking answer all of our problems. But if MULN only answers some of our problems, then we will do whatever it takes to fuck this world up. But ain't nobody know more than I know. That's for damn sure. Ain't no trader out there. Ain't no algo builder. Ain't no high frequency trader. Ain't no market maker that can make a better market than I can. They just got the funds to do it, is the only difference. The funds and a couple computer nerds, or just a really sweet, like ChatGPT. Like until the day I get assigned a ChatGPT that understands everything I've ever said and like remembers it and tries to speak to me as if it's like helping me as my partner through my journey in life, and like I can tell it to build me a website and it goes and builds my website. I can tell it to do this mathematical function and it starts doing it, and I help it figure out its problems until it's perfect. Like until all these things are at my fingertips from a ChatGPT, like that's what they have. So it's just not fair playing ground right now, but I'll have it soon. I'll have it very soon. What up, peep? We just about to be making that MULN money, that life-changing MULN money, that squeeze that never quits. Alright guys, well, I'm probably going to jump off for a minute, and then I'm probably going to get back on a live stream through my laptop like I did yesterday, just so I can hang out a little bit better, chill a little bit easier, all those good things, listen to music if I so desire. But yeah, it's looking like everything's good so far. Let's see if the day can continue. Let's see if the week can be everything I thought it'd be.